Oh dear. Right, I'll do this video I said I was going to do and I never got round to it. Yesterday, Elsa went to the vets. Yesterday morning, she was there for 9:30. Um, I basically took her in. The vet asked me if she'd declined anymore, and I said that a few days ago in the morning, every time she tried to eat something, she was bringing it back up. And I prepare her food in a certain way, so there's like it's dry but with wet food, dry but with water added to it, so it's soaked. I can't even speak. So it soaks it, So it's like having soggy cereal. Um, so she gets a drink that basically tastes of the food, and then she eats what's soggied up, so it's all mushy, and she loved it like that. And her stomach used to find that easier to eat, because I know when I tried putting them down just dry biscuits, she literally would bring it back up again, and it was awful for her. So I found that this way worked, and it also helped the other cats because they don't drink plenty of water in some cases. And I just thought it would be far easier just to put it all the same, so everybody's got nothing different. And then sometimes I'd do a soup with the pate ones, and they would love it, So I'd add a bit of water to it, I'd mix it up, and then put it in their bowls each. Just one little tin would work, and it was just enough just to have like a little extra to their food. And then she'd be drinking more than eating, and so I did extra pate ones for her more than anything else. But I also noticed that the back legs were sort of becoming harder to walk with, and the balance was becoming a bit off. So I just thought it would be far easier for me to, I thought it's time to let her go before the kidneys start to really worsen. And she agreed that it was time to let her go. So anyhow, um, so yeah, she agreed that it would be within my time, within my rights to say, yeah, it's time to let you go. So she took her out the back. She asked me first if I wanted to do, me in the room when she goes, and I said, yeah, yes, please. I want to be with her. I don't let any of my cats pass on their own, ever. They've all been with me. So she says, I'll take her out the back. I'll make her comfortable and bring her in, wrapped in a fleecy blanket. And so anyway, she brought her out, took her out the back, came back in, and a vet nurse brought the carrier in, and she brought Elsa in with, it's like a cannula, but it's in the paw, and it's the same kind of thing. and a pink bandage around the leg. And she was wrapped up like a little burrito. And had her in my arms and I cuddled her. So she'd obviously had part one and was very relaxed, because otherwise she'd be wanting to get down, because she does not do laps at all. And I said, hey, it's the first time I've been able to cuddle you since you were a baby. First time I've been able to hold you. And, and I talked to her and I said, I says, you're going to see Alfie now. And she sort of head bumped me. And I said, you're going to see Alfie. You're going to see Alfie now. He's missed you. He's waiting for you. And I told her how beautiful she was and I'm going to miss you. And I felt so bad, but at the same time, I knew this needed to happen because she was starting to slowly deteriorate some more. And I just thought, it's time. I could have put it off a few days, but then the chances are the kidneys are going to just give up and I'm going to be left with her in the same state that Bob was. And Bob was a random, unexpected case where, I was told, I've got months with him. We'll see him after Christmas. And this was in November. And then that was on the Friday. Saturday, Sunday, he literally deteriorated. And Sunday, he wasn't weeing at all. And his body was all swollen up. His face was all swollen up. So I thought, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not getting that state again because he was in so much pain. And I know that she was starting to not wee as much. And the situation for her was starting to show that if I don't do this now, by the weekend, she's going to be in agony. And Friday, I may be sort of having to watch her all weekend, struggling and getting worse and worse. So I thought, yeah, this is time to let her go. And that's exactly what I did. She came in for part 2. And as she was pumping the syringe in, she'd gone. I could feel her go. I said, see Alfie now. And that was it. Gone. And I cuddled her for a few minutes more. And then I said to the vet, I said, you okay to take her now? And she took her out the back to take her away to, Oh, it's hard. It is hard saying goodbye, but ultimately, I know I've done the right thing. I've got in there a day too early than a day too late, and her struggling and in so much pain. I just miss her. She did resist going into the carrier. I mean, I had the carrier, I brought it into the living room. She was on the chaise and I opened the lid. I'd given her some food and she was eating that and drinking, eating it, she was sucking some of it but drinking the water. And she was eating that quite well. And then when she'd finished, I went to pick her up and I'd picked her up and I turned and there were 2 bloody cats sitting in the carrier. So I had to get them out, pick her back up. And as I put her in and then went to shut the lid, she jumped out before I had a chance to put the lid firmly down. So then she ran off. And so ran, she sort of walked very quickly because I think the sprint in her, the leg muscle was starting to really, she was starting to struggle with climbing up on the chairs and on the worktops and stuff like that. But she went behind the sofa and then she come out again and I managed to catch her, and I felt really bad because I had to sort of grab her. And I thought, this isn't how I wanted it to be. I just wanted it to be where I placed her in the carrier and took her, you know. I don't want it to be like chasing her around the flat. And that's what I ended up doing at one point, because she ran out the living room into the bedroom. And I thought, well, running, she wasn't running. It was fast walking, because with me in my chair, it was awkward. And I couldn't have physically chased her around the flat, walking around. I couldn't have done it. So I got my son to help me out. He was half asleep. And he managed to get her out from behind the sofa. He shut the door. And between us, we got her in the carrier. And I felt really guilty, because she's such, a part of me wanted to have given her a few more days, but I needed it to happen for her, not for me, before the worsening began. And so that was that. And I do feel bad, and I feel guilty, and it's shit. It's shit. It's shit. But it's done. So now I have 4. I have 3 boys and 1 girl. So I've got Luna, Cosmo, Percy, and Gizmo. I would love to get, and I have told my son this, at some point I will get another girl. So I've got 5 again. Yeah, I will get another one. Just so there's another girl to make things a little bit more even. I've got 3 youngsters, really. I mean, Luna's coming up to 4. I've got Gizmo, that's 12 and a half. And then I've got Cosmo and Percy that are just coming up to 2. And, I want to have another one. Oh, I tell you, it just makes me feel so heavy-hearted at the minute. It won't be just yet. But I'm thinking, give myself a couple of weeks just to sort myself out in my head and do a few things, and then I'm going to start looking. And then when the time's right, when I see the right one I want, I'll be putting a deposit down and getting it as soon as possible. Yeah. See, the trouble is, rescue. I've had rescues a lot of the time. But I tell you that some rescues, and even though they're full, they're absolutely chocker with cats and kittens needing rehomes, I do find that a lot of these places, they make things really difficult for people to be able to have a cat or a kitten. They've said that there's some of them that have put on their rehoming criteria that they do check where you live, and if you live within a certain radius of a busy road or whatever, it's a no, because they like their cats to all go outside unless there's a reason why they can't. And I just think, sometimes that rescues do put goalposts in the way that there is just it's totally unnecessary. I mean, when I had Bob, he'd been in rescue for like X amount of years. And to tell a lie, been in there for about 10 months and nobody had him. And every time I'd inquired about him, there was like, oh, you're in rental, you're with, housing, so therefore we have to ask them permission. My housing officer agreed straight away. She was fine. I showed her a photo of him, and she said, yeah. There was all sorts of criteria about vetting and whether they have regular access to the vets. And mine had the regular access to the vets. I wanted, if I was still at my last address, I wanted to have had a catio built for my lot to have gone outside in. I would have done something. But, yeah. There's all sorts of things that I would have done. But yeah, there's a lot of places where the criteria, the goalposts just get moved all the time. And, they make it impossible. So then you start looking at other places, and this is where it ended up with Cosmo and Percy. Pet websites that are available, and, you can get whatever breed you want. I don't like going down that route. It's like looking at online shopping for cats and kittens, and anybody can look wonderful, and you never know what sort of cat at the end of the day you're getting. But you just have to hope that they are, decent people. I mean, I still wonder whether Cosmo was inbred, because there was mum walking around with sister in the living room, and then there was a boy from another litter of the mum, his mother, and he wasn't neutered. Could see his ball bags were there, and I thought, maybe, I don't know, but he is a lovely cat, and I think he's all right, apart from the skittishness and the heart murmur that he had possibly. But I don't think he had a heart murmur. I think he was just ultimately stressed by being in a really strange environment, because he's very panicky. But I will be getting another female when the time is right. But anyway, I thought I'd just let you know how things are going, and such an itch. Yeah, what's happened, and it's hard saying goodbye. Very hard. But sometimes you've just got to get on with it. Oh, God, that's such an itch. But anyway, I need to love and leave. I will catch you later. Thanks for watching. And bye for now.